Welcome back. All right, so we're going to review the first 4 games, today's schedule. The Stadium Series game getting started pretty quickly here, but the way that things are scheduled, I don't know how much time that game's going to have all to itself. I would imagine the puck drop's going to be a little bit later than your normal puck drop because you have all the ceremonial stuff before the game. We shall see. But at any rate, let's go ahead and start things off talking about Nashville in New York against the Islanders. The Islanders need to string some wins together here, really truly get themselves back in the hunt. Saros versus Sorokin. The Preds get some pressure at a minute and a half. But at 2:37, Pajot buries a pass from behind the net to make it 1-0 for the Islanders. The assist to Cizikas and Boqvist. Adam Boqvist had a good game today. Islanders press at 4 minutes. Shots are 5-2 for the Islanders at 5 minutes. Evangelista hits the outside of the post. There's a press by Nashville at 8.5 minutes. The fans call one, the referee does not. The Islanders then do draw a power play, and they score on it. At 12:26, Palmieri buries a rebound. Boqvist and Lee with the assists. 2-0 for New York. Blankenberg has a near miss on a net drive. The Islanders go back to the power play. That's killed off. And then at 19:31 on a turnover, Horvat and Lee pass it back and forth. Horvat finishes it. Lee with the assist. So at 19:31, it is 3-0 for the Islanders, and that's your score after one. Second period at 1:03, Nashville gets on the board. Sissons bats one in on a fast break. Nashville then gets a power play, which leads to a short-handed marker. At 2:37, it's Nelson burying one on a turnover rush from Holmstrom. So the Islanders get their 3-goal lead back at 4-1. There's a near miss for Holmstrom, a short-handed 3-on-2 that leads to that near miss for Holmstrom. That power play is killed off. And then at 4:58, Del Gaizo gets his first National Hockey League goal. He roofs it from the inner slot. Sissons and O'Reilly with the assists, so that makes it 4-2. Shots are 3-2 for Nashville at 6.5 minutes, meaning 2 of their 3 shots have gone in the net. Nashville goes back to the power play. That's killed off. We get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off as well. Things get pushed in a hole by Saros. The Islanders score. There's a goalie interference challenge by Nashville, and it counts. The contact being outside the crease. So Nelson scores from Romanov and Holmstrom at 16:21, and as a result of the failed challenge, the Islanders come out of that with the power play. That's killed off. The Islanders press after it's done, but it is 5-2 in favor of the Islanders after 2. Third period, the teams trade turnover. Shots are 3-1 Nashville at 4.5 minutes. At 5:21, Cizikas buries one in close. Fashing and Pajot with the assists. Nashville then gets a little bit of pressure to respond, and at 5:51, Cole Smith deflects one in. Del Gaizo and Sissons with the assists. Shots are 9-7 for Nashville with 6 minutes left. Marchessault Stamkos' chance gets blocked. With 3:08 left, we get a power play for Nashville. They call a timeout. At 18:56, so after that power play is done, Cole Smith puts one in from the left circle. Novak with the assist. So you pull the goaltender, and down 2 goals at 19:48, Stamkos accidentally puts it in his own net. And the goal is credited to Sorokin. So Sorokin gets a goal today. The Islanders win this one 7-4, so the 80s Magnets on the board there. The Islanders go to 27-25-7 with the win. With the loss, Nashville 21-31-7. Shots on net, 19-3 Islanders in the first, 11-9 Nashville in the second, 13-8 Nashville in the third. Final shots 36-27 for the Islanders. Power plays, Nashville 0 for 3, the Islanders 1 for 4. The hits 18-10 for the Islanders. Saros saves 30 out of 36. Sorokin saves 23 out of 27. But despite not a great stat line, Sorokin also gets a goal tonight, so there you go. All right, next up, well, this afternoon, the Tampa Bay Lightning in against Washington. So is there concern with Washington as of yet? It was Vasilevsky versus Thompson. There's an early press by Tampa. A net feed to McMichael gets picked off. We get a power play for the Lightning. That's killed off. 1 shot on net for that. Caps press at 5.5 minutes. The Caps score. It's challenged for a missed stoppage. It was a high stick that they didn't catch. Sure enough, that is the case, and so that goal comes off the board. Shots are 2 apiece at 7 minutes. Tampa Bay draws a power play. That's killed off as well. The Caps press at 6 minutes. Shots are 7-3 Tampa with 5 minutes left. The Caps press with 4.5 minutes left. McMichael has a rush chance, that's held, and then with 3:17 left, the Bolts get their third power play of the first period, and they score on it. Just too many opportunities. Chaffee rifles in a rebound, Point and Kucherov with the assists at 17 minutes and 11 seconds. The Caps look to respond, and with 1:13 left, Washington draws a power play. So that rolls over to the second period with the score 1-0 Tampa. Tampa Bay finishes the kill. The Bolts press at 2 minutes. We get a power play for the Capitals. That was killed off. Shots are 2-1 for Washington, 5 minutes in. Radish is denied on a backhand opportunity. Hagel can't bury one in close. Bolts press at 8.5 minutes. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Caps press with 7.5 minutes left. AC Mont fires one wide on a rush. The shots are 5-3 Washington with 5 minutes left. The Caps get some pressure with 3 minutes left, but it stays 1-0 Tampa after 2. Third period, early press by Tampa. No shots on net, 4.5 minutes in, so very quiet third period to begin with. McDonough has a chance that deflects wide. Protas has a fast break chance. That's held. And then at 6:08, on what's their first shot of the third period, Tampa Bay scores. Gonsalves fires one past a screen. Nick Paul with the assist. It's 2-0 in favor of the Lightning. McMichael has a wrister. That's held. The teams trade rushes. Good forechecking by the Lightning. Protas has a wrister that's caught and held. And then at 16:01, Alex Ovechkin wires one from the slot. He is 11 goals away from passing the great one. Roy with the assist on that one, and it's now a 2-1 game. Ovechkin then fires one wide on a rush. The goalie pull happens with 1:40 left, and at 19:01, Brandon Hagel hits the empty net to make it 3-1. With 20 seconds left, the Capitals get a power play. Tampa Bay runs out the clock. They win this one 3-1. They go to 35-20-4 with another victory. With the loss, the Capitals have lost 3 in a row at home, and in regulation, 38-14-8 is the record now for Washington. Shots on net, 10-5 Tampa in the first, 8-6 Washington in the second, 9-3 Washington in the third. The Caps outshoot Tampa Bay 22-19. Power plays, Tampa 1-for-3, Washington 0-for-3. The hits 14-11 for Washington. Vasilevsky 21 saves on 22 shots. Logan Thompson 16 saves on 18 shots. All right, next up, Calgary and against the Florida Panthers. Vladar versus Bobrovsky. What a game for Vladar today. So there's an early press by the Panthers. The Flames press at 5 minutes. The shots are 5-4 for Florida at 5.5 minutes. One of those shots would come off the board for Calgary, and they wouldn't get a whole bunch more the rest of the way in that first period. Forsling has a screenshot that saved. Mikkola has a rush chance that's saved as well. Things get pushed in a hold by Vladar. Backlund has a net drive chance that's held. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off. Samoskevich is denied. Vladar holds on there. Panthers press with 6 minutes left. The shots are 15-3 Florida with 4 minutes left. So it was all Panthers and Vladar. The game getting kind of punchy. The Flames come out with a power play. That was killed off. The Panthers press after they're finished killing that penalty, and it's scoreless after 1. Second period. Panthers press at 2 minutes. The shots are 1 apiece at 3 minutes. Schmidt's denied on a net drive. The Panthers score. There's a goalie interference challenge. The goal counts. Gadjevich from Greer and Schmidt at 4:47. Since it's a failed challenge, that means it's a power play for Florida coming out of it. Ekblad has a one-timer that's held during that power play. The Flames do kill that off. There's a goal line stand by Vladar after that ends. The shots are 8-1 for Florida at 7.5 minutes. Then there's a stick save on Verhaeghe. It's all Florida. Panthers go back to the power play. It's killed off. The Panthers then score. It was a fantastic looking save, but the glove's actually behind the goal line. Doesn't matter. They wave it off for goalie interference. Paul Maurice did not challenge. I think if he had, he might have had a chance of having that overturned. The Flames press with 2 minutes left. Zari mishandles one on a rush. And then at 19:24, Rodriguez with one that deflects in. Ekblad and Bennett with the assist. So those last minute goals can be tough. That makes it 2-0 for Florida. Third period. Flames press at 2.5 minutes. Huberdeau hits the outside of the post. Shots are 3-1 Flames at 4 minutes. Pospisil has a rush chance that's saved. There's a glove save on Solovyov. More pressure by the Calgary Flames. That third period, they came out playing really, really well. Samoskevich then fires one high on a net drive. Flames press with 6 minutes left. The shots are 8-3 for Calgary with 4.5 minutes left. But at 16:08, Samoskevich puts one around Vladar and into the net. Bennett and Rodriguez with the assists. It's a 3-0 score for Florida, and that kind of takes the air out of the tires for Calgary. Panthers would look for another, and they win this one 3-0. So the Tony the Tiger magnet's on the board. So's the chess match magnet. Florida goes to 37-21-3 with the win. With the loss, Calgary 28-23-8 on the season. Your shots on net, 16-6 Florida in the first, 19-6 Florida in the second, 11-7 Calgary in the third. Final shots 42-23 for the Panthers. Power plays, Calgary 0-for-2, Florida 0-for-4. The hits 26-17 Calgary. Vladar 39 saves on 42 shots, had a great game. Bobrovsky saved all 23 shots for the shutout and kind of gets overshadowed in a shutout by the guy at the other end. All right, last game we're going to talk about now, and then I'll get into watching the Detroit-Columbus game. Korpisalo versus Nedeljkovic as it's Boston in Pittsburgh. Early press by the Penguins, but at 1:32 on a breakaway, Pastrnak goes around the goalie and scores. Zacha and Peak with the assists. Early on, it's 1-0 for Boston. Shots are 4-2 Pittsburgh at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for Boston. During that power play, Joseph, he drops Marchand on it was a clean hit, but obviously Bruins take some issue with it. Marchand exits, and then later on in the period, Joseph, he ends up exiting the game with an injury as well. So, yeah. Two wrongs make a right in hockey. So anyways, on that power play, after Marchand's left during the penalty kill, or during the power play, I should say, Lowry would put one just inside the post past the screen to make it a 2-0 lead for Boston. Zacha and Pastrnak with the assists at 6:33. But it is worth noting that Marchand didn't come back into the game. It will dramatically affect, I would think, the chances of Boston being able to make a playoff spot if Marchand's going to miss any time. So we get a power play for the Penguins. That becomes 1 minute and 2 seconds of 5-on-3. Boston kills that off. There's a press by Boston with 8 minutes left. Shots are 10-9 Pittsburgh with 5.5 minutes left. VL has a tip shot that saved. There's a near miss for Malkin on a rush. With 1:27 left, the Penguins get another power play. So that rolls over into the second period with the score 2-0 Boston. No Marchand or Joseph, and they did not come back into the game. Boston finishes the kill. 4 minutes in, there's only one shot, and it's Boston's. The Penguins press at 5.5 minutes. Then the Bruins get some pressure at 7.5 minutes. Merkulov to Pastrnak, that gets blocked. We get a power play for Pittsburgh. That leads to a shorthanded breakaway for Koepke. That saved by Nedeljkovic. That power play killed off. Shots are 3 apiece with 6.5 minutes left. Rust to Raquel. There's a near miss there. Merkulov to Lindholm gets blocked on a 2-on-1 rush. Bruins press to close it out, and they're still up 2-0 after 2 periods of play. In the third, the shots are 2-0 Pittsburgh at 2.5 minutes. The teams trade turnovers. Pasternak's awarded a penalty shot. That was saved by Nedeljkovic to keep this one close. The Bruins then press. Are kept to the outside. We get a power play for the Penguins. That's killed off. This is where the Boo Birds are getting pretty loud. They want shots. They want goals. The power play tonight was kind of frustrating for Pittsburgh fans. Pastrnak has a net feed that's picked off. We get a power play for Boston, and Pittsburgh scores on it. Shorthanded, it's Beauvillier going glove side from the slot. Hayes with the assist at 14:01, and so it gets Pittsburgh on the board and cuts the lead in half for Boston. Penguins then finish the kill. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Hayes has a one-timer that's saved, but we end up going 6-on-4 on that play, and it's a 4-minute penalty on Boston as well, on Koepke actually, which leads to a shorthanded empty netter by Charlie Coyle. Zadorov with the assist at 19:20. Makes it 3-1. Pittsburgh would answer. Raquel scores from Rust at 19:38. They just didn't have enough time to get 2 goals. And so Boston holds on, wins this one 3-2. They go to 28, 25, and 8 with the win. With the loss, Pittsburgh 24, 29, and 9. Shots on net, 12-11 Boston in the first, 8-5 Boston in the second, 15-6 Pittsburgh in the third. Pittsburgh does outshoot Boston 31-26. Power plays, Boston 1 for 2, Pittsburgh 1 for 7. The hits 27-17 in favor of Pittsburgh. Korpisalo was good, 29 saves on 31 shots. So was Nedeljkovic, 23 saves on 25 shots for Nedeljkovic. Nice bounce back after his last game, though he didn't play badly in the last game, just the team in front of him did. So let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.